There was a trade that I was against as early as 2 weeks ago, and I've since changed my mind. Call me Flip-Flop Moose, if you will. Welcome into the Broncos Breakdown presented by Prize Picks. You're hanging out with your guy, Moose. Thank you so much for joining me today. All right, we got to talk quarterbacks, and this trade does involve the quarterbacks. We've got Bo at QB1, Jarrett Stidham at QB2, and Sam Ehlinger at QB3. Now, like I said, we're going to talk technically 2 trades today, but one trade I'm more okay with making. The other one I've been okay with making for a long time. This trade needs to happen because I see the future. I see what it looks like for our cap situation, and it just makes too much sense to not make this trade. That coming up here in just a moment. Before I get to it, though, Twitter, Instagram. That was my off-season goal from the bosses. They came to me and they said, you have to pick a goal. My goal was social media followers. It's the same handle for both. Moose_NFL on X, Moose_NFL on Insta. If you want to follow me on either one of them, unfiltered Broncos content from yours truly, do me a favor and go give me a follow. What is the trade that I'm talking about? I am now pro-trade for Spencer Rattler. At first, I was like, no, Spencer Rattler is booty cheeks. There is no reason we should do this. And then I started thinking about it. And I'm like, well, as a backup, there's actually a lot of talent there, right? Let me explain. Originally, I thought that Rattler would be a waste of a draft pick. Now I could see it benefiting the Denver Broncos for more ways than one. Mostly because we now have an injury blip on the Bo Nix radar, right? Ankle concerns dating all the way back to high school. This specific injury is not that big of a deal. But now it is something that we can at least say in the back of our minds is, I hope it doesn't happen again, right? And Spencer Rattler is getting better. I mean, look at what John Francella said, or Fraskella, I think is how you pronounce it. I'm not very good with names. Here's what I do know. He said it's very fun to watch Spencer Rattler chuck the ball downfield. He has a nice, natural arm. Ball explodes quietly, and he should get another chance to start somewhere else down the line. I don't know if that's true. I see him as a backup right now. But maybe 3 to 4 years down the line, it's an entire possibility. I mean, just look at the numbers last year. 8 games started, 67.7 completion percentage, 1,586 yards, 8 touchdowns, 5 INTs. That's not good numbers. I'm fully aware of that. But it wasn't awful either. He was bad situationally. That's where I will say he needs to get way better. EPA on third down last year was one of the worst in the league. Tua beat him out on EPA. Actually, he beat Tua out briefly. But he had the same EPA on third down as Joe Flacco, Marcus Mariota, and Michael Penix. That's not a great combo of quarterbacks right there, if you catch my drift. So Spencer Rattler has a lot of growing to do. But there is natural talent here. I think people forget that. He's mobile. He can throw on the run. He's got a good arm. He just hasn't been in the right situation yet. Think about how bad the Saints are. They suck. They're getting better, but they suck. And Spencer Rattler, in that system with Kellen Moore, exploded from when he was with Dennis Allen. I mean, take a look at this. Average depth of target and completion percentage last year. Who were the number 1 quarterbacks in the National Football League? So if you comboed average depth of target and completion percentage, Spencer Rattler was number 8 in the National Football League, behind Justin Herbert, Daniel Jones, oddly enough, Tyler Shough as well, Dak Prescott, Sam Darnold, Jordan Love, Drake Maye. He can push the ball down the field, and he can complete those passes. And here's the biggest kind of development of them all. Time to throw last year, actually in 2024. Time to throw in 2024, 2.78 seconds. Completed 57% of his passes. That's terrible. But get this, 2025, he had less time to throw and completed 10% more of his passes, almost 11% more of his passes. That is huge growth, monumental growth. He's getting better as a player. Does that mean that he's good enough to take over a QB1 spot right now? No. But despite all of the growth that they've seen, he's QB3. Don't let any Saints fan fool you. Oh, he's listed as QB2. Zach Wilson is QB3. Then why'd you sign Zach Wilson, right? Why'd you sign him? Now, I've got more to say coming up here on this in just a moment. Before I get to that, though, I do have to remind you guys, today's episode is brought to you by our friends over at SeatGeek. There are not many better ways to get out of the house right now than to take in a ball game. And if you want to get your next set of Denver Broncos tickets, you got to go to SeatGeek. They have got you covered. Honestly, I'm going to see a Nelly concert with my wife in August, and I'll tell you what, I got my tickets on SeatGeek. They have got you hooked up. They rate every single pair of tickets on a scale of 1 to 10. So you know you're getting a good deal. Look for the green dot. Green means good. Red means bad. Now, if you really want to spice things up, you're going to use the code that we've got for you. And I've got that code, chat10 for 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek. That's 10% off any pair of Broncos tickets with promo code chat10. Make sure that you click the link in the comments and description to download the app and have the code automatically added to your account so you can use it later. Thank you to our friends at SeatGeek. So a lot of people will tell you that Tyler Shough, obviously QB1, but that Spencer Rattler is QB2 and Zach Wilson is QB3. Why would you sign Zach Wilson, who is notably known around the league as a QB2, if you didn't plan on trading Spencer Rattler, right? Like, one of those, they're not going to keep 3 quarterbacks. Most teams keep 2 quarterbacks now with a practice squad elevation. So my guess is Zach Wilson wins that job. They trade off Spencer Rattler. He's got more trade value at this point than Zach Wilson does. And according to Science Wars, who is a diehard Saints fan, I almost said Faints. That was weird. Saints fan, he says, fuck no, Wilson has way more experience and can get the job done over a guy like Spencer Rattler. So what does that mean for a trade? I think right now you could give up a 5th and just wipe your hands clean of Spencer Rattler. You give up a 5th to the Saints, you get Spencer Rattler, and now you've got someone that could climb in for Stiddy and win that QB2 spot. I know Ehlinger has been playing really well. I like Sam Ehlinger a lot. I have to wait to see more this preseason. If he has a preseason like Stiddy did last year, then keep Ehlinger as our quarterback too. For right now, though, based off of what I'm seeing, I'd still take Spencer Rattler at QB2 over Sam Ehlinger. So, would you make this trade? Type T for trade. Type P for pass. Let me know in the comment section down below. All right, of course, the second component to all of this is Jarrett Stidham. What do you do with him, right? Because these are the 2 quarterbacks that you would essentially be replacing. I had a lot of faith in Stiddy, man. It's waning. It's waning. Mostly because Ehlinger's already had a better offseason than he has. And get this. This is the biggest, most egregious reason on the Stiddy case. He is an $8 million cap hit. Spencer Rattler's a $1.1 million cap hit. He's more talented than Jarrett Stidham. He's got more experience than Spencer does. But this is a better quarterback talent than Jarrett Stidham. And Stidham is one of the highest paid backups. He's a top 10 highest paid backup in the National Football League. That $8 million is just sitting on the bench, man, when it could be $1 million. Hell, Tua is going to start for the Falcons, and he cost $1 million. It's about value, guys. And we know how much the Broncos have valued value. Not to sound stupid when I say that, but you get my point. They've made such a high emphasis on value, right? That's why they put a cap on spending during free agency. And I'll give you another example. If you're like, Moose, that's one example. Rattler is one example. Fine. How about Mac Jones? Who would you rather have as your backup? It's not a question. It's Mac Jones. Mac Jones is only worth $3.1 million. That's his cap hit. It just goes to show you, Jarrett Stidham is commanding too much money right now. Way too much. And Mac Jones had an awesome time filling in last year. 70% completion percentage. Over 2,000 passing yards. 13 touchdowns. 6 picks. And a passer rating of 97.4. Now, in the event that Stidham doesn't have a ton of trade value, you could technically cut him, and it would help a little bit. I still think there's trade value. I think you ideally look to trade him, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, obviously, we've got one more sponsor to talk to you guys about today before I bring up the trade that I have and the numbers if you were to cut Stiddy. But before I do that, I got to remind you guys, today's episode is brought to you by our friends over at Prize Picks. I play every single day, and I love it. It is so much fun. I missed out on my most recent lineup by one pick. It was tough, but I still had a lot of fun, like I said. So I download the Prize Picks app. I use code HMA to get $50 instantly in lineups when I play my first $5. Plenty of ways to play. You pick your player, the more or less on their stat projections, and you watch your money multiply. It really is that simple. So if you wanted to do something like this, this is what you could do. This is JD's lineup right here. You can download this in the brand new feature, the social feeds feature, copy it in a single click, and you could follow JD. You could also follow me if you would like. I believe my handle is moose_1896. So if you want to do that, download the Prize Picks app today. Use code HMA to get $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. Again, that's code HMA to get $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It is good to be right. So if you cut Jarrett Stidham, you save $4.5 million, but you take on a dead cap hit of $3.5 million. It's still better because he's an $8 million cap hit right now, so it'd be a net loss of, or a net gain, a positive net gain of $4.5 million. That's fine. I'd take that, right? A trade works better. It just does. You could find someone that could take Stidham off your hands. Thank you for your service, man. Had a lot of great moments here in the preseason, but there is one team that I know that is desperate for a quarterback of Jarrett Stidham's stature over their current quarterback room. That's the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is an awful quarterback room. It's awful. Like, Nick Mullins, I'm sorry, he's buns. He's buns, man. So you trade Stiddy to the Jacksonville Jaguars, everybody wins. And get this, he'd probably give up the same thing that you would give up for Spencer Rattler. Fifth, maybe a sixth if they weren't ready to bite on that. I would take a sixth for Stiddy at this point. I would. He's not going to get anything higher than a fifth, guys. He just won't. Backup quarterbacks, unless they're Mac Jones at this point, are not going for anything higher than like a fifth rounder, maybe a fourth. But I don't think Stidham, after what he showed in the AFC Championship game, I don't think any team would want a fourth or want to give up a fourth rounder for him. There's just no way. So, do me a huge favor before you take on off out of here. Give me a follow on both of these. Moose_NFL is my handle. X and Instagram. That's all I got for you guys today. Quick little mile high salute. Be cool.